hired my first drag queen recently. Hired my very own drag queen to cosplay one of my own characters so a bunch of people could sit around and draw her. It was awesome. I have the most amazing producer in Caden. He takes a lot of initiative and pitches a lot of ideas, and one of those ideas that he pitched was drag and draw, which is exactly what I said before. We hired a drag queen to cosplay one of my Prism characters for a figure drawing panel at Lightbox Expo, which is like the biggest industry event for artists working in animation, games, film, everything. All the artists go there to network. Most of the artists. I'd never been to one before. I loved the idea though. I said, yes, absolutely, if you can find us a drag queen. Caden said, oh bitch, I know drag queens. I was super excited, and also super terrified. I've done panels at conventions with Tanuki Lab before, like VidCon and Anime NYC, but those were group things. I've never done one just myself, and I'm used to hiding behind a screen. I was very anxious. I knew I was gonna need backup, so I brought a bunch of my team members with me to the event. I even flew Chi out all the way from the UK to be with me for it. I filled a sketchbook in the time that trip took place because of course I did, and it was the absolute most amazing time. Oh, I have to tell y'all absolutely everything. But first, quick little sidebar, thank you so much to the sponsor of this video, ArtWad. I said I'd be back to do more of their figure drawing course, and I'm back, so let's jump right in. ArtWad is a gamified art study platform where by completing their lessons, you gather up EXP and grind through your level ups to see your art improve. You can freely bounce around courses and take breaks whenever you need, so it's excellent for the working artist without much free time, or if it's just your hobby. I've been through a number of their courses by now, from beginner's painting to backgrounds to an introduction to figure drawing. So I was very excited to come back to their figure drawing course and see how far I could get this time. Each lesson is so well condensed that I found the time between starting the course and continuing it to actually be pretty great as a refresher. The way they've broken down each part of the body into how it moves is something I think is very valuable, and it all started with boxes. I will never stop swearing by boxes. ArtWad has also introduced its own brand new feedback tool. You upload a piece or work in progress that you've made, and the community is invited to give you feedback based on where you're struggling. Just share the link with your community, and all draw-overs and written comments will be neatly organized so it's easy to revisit. I uploaded this piece from 2 years ago. I don't know who this they in the middle is, but I'll be including the link in the description, so let me know what you all think. ArtWad is currently running their huge yearly plan discount, so use my link in the description to get a 30% discount on their premium plan. Thank you so much to ArtWad for sponsoring, and now back to Lightbox. I did start the sketchbook a little early, basically as soon as Chi arrived, which is about a week before we were going to be meeting up with Fire and Patrick. All 4 of us were going to drive to Dallas together, and from there we would fly out to California for Lightbox. Our panel was slated to be the second day of the convention, Saturday at 2 p.m., and Caden wanted to go big with it. Our drag queen dressed as a Prism character, a big Actually Ray branded backdrop behind her, speakers to play music, goodie bags filled with art supplies to give out to anyone who joined us. This took months of planning, but we were excited. Nervous-sighted. Chi, Pat, Fire, and I got to Dallas the night before our flight because we had to leave ridiculously early in the morning. I think we had to be up by like 3 a.m. for that, so because we had a little spare time on our hands, we went to the local Meow Wolf, which are these really amazing giant, it's like an interactive art museum. It's got branching paths, so it's like a maze to explore the whole thing, and if you pay attention to all the details, you can sleuth out an overarching narrative. It's super cool. But they also had an amazing gift shop, and I went nuts in there. I'm filling a travel sketchbook on this trip. That means any stickers and ephemera I buy to scrapbook are business expenses. We got pizza afterwards, and it kicked off a tradition of me asking if they had any kids coloring menus at any restaurants we went to so I could scrapbook those as well. Did an awful lot of scrapbooking in this sketchbook. 3 a.m. after our fun at Meow Wolf, the 4 of us flew into Pasadena together and got settled in our Airbnb, our base of operations where the rest of the team who were also available for this trip would all meet up. Aside from the members staying in the Airbnb, we were also joined by Wisp and his friend Lila, Caden, of course, Sam and Max, and Gabe. Gabe is our photographer. If you've seen the beautiful photos of our merch on our website, those were all done by him. He's a friend of Caden, so I'd never actually spoken to him directly before that day, but he was the sweetest. He melded into our group perfectly. He and Patrick were our assigned cameramen for the next few days. They both did an amazing job. We had some time before Lightbox to prepare, but then disaster struck. Just 4 days before the event, our drag queen came down with a nasty case of she got fucking sick. So we had to scramble. Do you have any idea how hard it is to book a last-minute drag queen the weekend before Halloween? That's basically the drag holiday. And she was supposed to be dressed as ʻBerserkerTia. This is our first ever promotional event for Prism, and we can't really do that without a Prism cosplay. And we have 4 days! Everyone was already here. We already had all the supplies. We couldn't just cancel. We had to truck on with our preparations and pray that Caden would be able to find someone else in time. While we weren't even sure that we would have a queen as our model, Caden came over and brought all our supplies, like the giant speaker, the custom backdrop, ribbon, the stickers that Skitty and I had designed to pass out at the expo, cellophane bags, chargers, extension cords, and an insane amount of art supplies. We had reached out to Ohuhu to ask if they'd be interested in sending us some product that we could put into our goodie bags to give away to people, expecting they'd maybe send us like 60 markers. Instead, they sent us a 50-pound box with almost 900 markers in it. My goats. Oh my god, my goats. I love you guys. Patrick and Caden were practicing assembling and disassembling the backdrop because it was so freaking big, it hit the freaking ceiling. So much, it actually fell over and definitely did not leave a dent. I don't know what you're talking about. Meanwhile, Fire Sam and I made an assembly line to finish bagging the markers. So many markers. Oh my god. Every time we thought we had finished, someone managed to find another handful, and we kept running out of ribbon. Caden bagged like half the markers before he even stepped foot in California. The other half that I bagged took 8 spools. It was nuts. The bags were so cute, though. We tried to make sure to pick colors that made a nice little palette together and pick the right ribbon to tie it off with so each bag was special and looked as cutie-full and intentional as possible. 3 nights before Lightbox, Miss Felony Dodger confirms that she was available, so we had secured our model. And the night before Lightbox, she sends us a video. Miss Felony Dodger, you're insane. You look amazing. Thank you so much. ʻBerserkerTia is back on the figure drawing menu. And so, day 1 begins. Everyone met at the Airbnb bright and early so we could all get breakfast together before heading into the con. That poor cafe was not prepared to have 8 people on the same ticket or sitting at the same table. That place was awesome, though. 10 out of 10 food, and we were all obsessed with these little mochi cat paw cakes that they had. We went back multiple times. After that, we got to the con, met up with my friend Star, the starfish face, and mostly just went through the artist alley. That place was so goddamn huge that I don't think any of us made it through the entire thing. And it was so incredibly crowded that everyone split up. I made sure to keep Caden and Patrick with me, though. Patrick so he could film the things I was buying, and Caden as my backup, because I had already announced to people that if they found me at Lightbox, I would give them a sticker. Inviting people to look for me was very scary. I needed my emotional support Cades. I only really got approached thrice while scanning the aisles, though, which was both a relief and a little disappointing. My biggest fear was that we were going to host this huge panel and nobody was going to care to show up. And I had all of day 1 to sweat about it. I love nothing more than stressing myself out. Of the people who approached me, though, people were already either asking me to draw them a tiger or offering me ones they had drawn in advance in hopes of being able to give it to me, and that made me so incredibly happy. My tiger collection grows. We went to this really awesome Greek place for dinner, and then everyone met back up at the Airbnb. Patrick and Caden practiced assembling the backdrop again, and Fire and Sam joined me in doing some figure drawings from YouTube videos to practice for tomorrow. It's not like anyone was even going to be able to see me drawing during the panel. Yet I was stressed out about making sure that my panel drawings would turn out good. Performance anxiety when I'm not even performing? What the hell is up with that? Tomorrow was the big day, and I was so freaked out about it that I got like no sleep. But we'd done everything that we could do. Our props and our markers were all ready. We had a healthy drag queen with a beautiful Tia cosplay, and my team was there with me. It's going to be a good panel. It's going to be a good panel. I'm going to sleep. Please. Oh, the big day. The big day. I was so scared and tired. Bad combo. We lugged all of our supplies to Lightbox. One wagon full of markers and one full of everything else we were gonna need. We basically sat around and just waited for it to be time to start setting up. Lightbox took place within 2 large buildings, separated by a big outdoor staircase and these big sculptures of their logo and their mascots. And our panel was going to be outside at that staircase. This was by design. Caden wanted it to be as eye-catching and inviting as possible, so people who didn't know us and were just walking by could have their interest piqued and maybe stop and come draw with us. Because this was a very high-traffic area. People were constantly walking through to get to different events and panels and booths between the 2 Lightbox buildings. People were sitting on the stairs to take breaks to draw all week. It was crowded, and we had no way of knowing who in that crowd was here waiting for our panel or who was just here by happenstance, and we wouldn't find out until about an hour before the panel when Lightbox staff was going to come out and clear the stairs so that just the people attending the panel could start getting seated. So I have a few more hours of just sitting there, twiddling my thumbs, thinking about everything that could possibly go wrong. What if absolutely nobody shows up and it's really obvious because we're outside? What if a bunch of people do show up and they're disappointed with what they see? With me? What if I'm so nervous that this is a self-fulfilling prophecy and I will be too much of a wreck to make any kind of good impression on people? I don't post my face online very often. I don't want to see that shit. But as it turns out, it's pretty easy to pick me out of a crowd because my ginger hair is a dead giveaway. Around the time my team decided it was time to start setting up, a few people started making their way over to me asking if I was June, who I am. Game time. I'm aware of a little circle of people forming around me as people patiently wait for their turn to say hi. I'm doing my best to greet everyone one at a time and signing their sketchbooks, and before I know it, Lila's taking charge and directing everyone to form a line. A line? Are there that many people? Now granted, I am very short, so I can't see over that many heads, but I look over to see a wall of a line of people with no end in sight. People are coming up one after another asking for signatures and pictures. Lila's stamping everyone's sketchbooks with an Apollo stamp that I made. I was passing out stickers to everyone who came up. People were bringing me gifts. Keychains and plushies and stickers and fan art. So many people brought me Apollos or Shadow Milks or Tigers, and every single person was so incredibly kind. So many people told me stories of how I changed their relationship with art for the better or inspired them to pursue it as a career. There were even people who cried. And if that was you, please do not be embarrassed. Words cannot do justice to how absolutely touched I was. She came up to me like, holy shit, June, have you seen how long this line is? No, I have not. And I never would, because it was time for the panel to start before the line was even close to finished. I turned around from where I had been tunnel visioning on my little impromptu meet and greet to see that the stairs were absolutely overflowing with people. An unimaginable number of people. I couldn't believe my eyes. We unfortunately didn't have the foresight to reserve any seats for the team, so we ended up sat on the ground like directly across from our queen. So all of the figure drawings I did were of her profile, but oh my god, she did such an amazing job! We had brought one of the Apollo plushies with us so that Felony would be able to pose with him, and the entire crowd went nuts when she brought him out, and went nuts again when she tried to wear his glasses. One of my absolute favorite parts, though, was that Fire had put together a Neneko cosplay for the day, and he jumped up to be with Felony for the final pose. Mama and her adopted kid back together. It made me so happy. The crowd went nuts again. I was so overwhelmed with just how amazing everything was going. My heart was bursting. All that time worried about the worst possible outcome, only for the best possible outcome to be our reality, and I still can't believe it. Originally, we wanted to get a proper recording of the whole figure drawing session so you lovely people from home would be able to participate in Drag and Draw too. But once again, we lacked the foresight to reserve a space to film that before we got swarmed. So we'll have to plan for that better next year. And there will be a next year. We've already been invited back, and I'm amped. I can't wait for next Lightbox. The line reformed one last time after everything was said and done, and I made sure to meet with everyone until the line had finally dispersed. We paid Felony for her time and thanked her profusely. She even let me keep the Tia costume she made. I'm trying to figure out the best way to display this in my home right now. I love this thing so much. I was riding the high of how well that went for the rest of the trip. I'm still up there, honestly. And we did lots of exciting things after. That same evening, we went to a Halloween party dressed as warrior cats, kinda. It was very last minute, so I really just wore ears and painted a star on my face and called it a day as Firestar. Sam pulled a really great Scourge cosplay together last minute. Fire bought a tiger onesie and covered it with fake blood so that he could be dead Tiger Star. I was asleep when he made his alterations, so waking up in the morning and walking out to that on the floor was certainly something. And Patrick went as our 4th Warrior Cats character, All-Star from Swamp Clan. I'm sure you're all familiar. Favorite part about that party was there was a giant wall where everyone was invited to draw on it, and of course I drew Apollo immediately. Fire came up to me later saying how he saw a second Apollo, and he was all excited to tell me that someone else drew him too, only to realize that it was simply a second Apollo drawn by a much, much drunker June. We went through the artist alley one last time on the last day. Everyone got celebratory dumplings for dinner together. And then I was able to start really scrapbooking everything. I love scrapbooking. It helps me to engage with the world around me, asking for extra kid menus or looking for other scraps of paper to commemorate our travels with. The extra excuse to buy things and support my fellow artists in the artist's alley, collecting tigers from anyone and everyone like our favorite waiters or really any kind strangers. Sitting down and taking the time to reflect on the kind of trip I had while getting to paste everything together just fills me with a kind of joy that's hard to beat. Especially when my friends start getting the itch too. I had the table completely filled with scrapbooking materials, and one by one my friends would come up and start joining me, sharing all of our spoils, making art together.
And at some point, Caden comes over to me and is like, hey, Star, can you help pass out the markers? And I was like, oh, yeah, sure. And we were just like, I think the only way we're going to be able to get the people in the back is just to throw these markers at people. And, you know, most of them got caught. Some of them did smack a few people in the face. And if that was you, I do apologize. But also, you're welcome for the markers, I guess.
My name's June. I be losing things.
You know.
Okay, you didn't have to agree that quickly.
Yeah.
That was rude.
No, I did.
To the side like this. And I could probably put a tiger sticker there.
Tiger?
To look at my options, I have some. God damn it, Fireworks Cat 25, you're the worst! Feigning interest in me so that you could stab me in the back!
He talked about, there was something that he said, it was like,
I'm not sure yet. I'm working on it.
no, my dad.
Now I know what that is.
You
snot your
Nowhere. You snot your snot.
The main, that truly was the reason.
Well, now I have, where's my label maker?
You snot your snot? What? Wait, did you change it? What's
I was like, wait, is there extra letter? There was extra letter like in my face.
Ah, you beautiful son of a bitch. Hey!
This was easily one of the best trips I have ever been on. I can't wait for next year's Lightbox. And honestly, I'm really hoping that we can find any more excuses to make traveling art content like this. And I've found my first excuse. I've found my in to make my redemption trip back to Japan. Stay tuned for that. This is what I love the most about art. Using it as expression, as a way to hold my memories, as an excuse to go out into the world and do things that scare me because of all the opportunities to make art that it'll provide me. What a special medium. What a special life that I get to live. If you attended our panel, thank you so much. If you watched this video, thank you so much. If I have ever helped you with your art in any way, I couldn't be happier. Hope to see you all next year. Thank you all so much for watching. Lightbox Expo was such a magical experience, and I can't wait to go again this year. And it's largely thanks to the people who support us through our shop that we're able to make this happen. We've recently added some new products. Prism Volume 2's physical edition is still available. It has all of my art from my actual sketchbook as previously shared here on my channel, but now you can flip through it as you like. But if you'd like to skip the shipping, or if we can't ship to your country, we've just added the PDF version to our site as of today. I'd love for you to check it out. We really appreciate all the support we receive. It truly makes such a difference. And if you'd like another way to support the team, there's always our lovely community over on Patreon. $2 a month will get you access to everything we post, $5 a month will get you access to our twice-ish monthly live streams, and $10 a month will get your name at the end of my videos just like this. Hope you're all having a wonderful day, and I'll see you later. Bye!